There we go. There we go.
We're missing a Johnny. Yeah, he's in the John.
She's just going to throw it out there like that. That's okay. When he comes in, we'll make it worse.
So usually, Mike Austin or Walter, if you want to turn the mic on if you have it. So usually what will happen is when somebody comes out the back, you just give them a real round of applause. So when he shows up, we'll just, yeah.
10, 1, 2, 2, 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just gonna, because Johnny's not here yet, we're just gonna sit in silence until he gets here. Ready?
They're going to be the judges. So.
Silence. No, I can't do that. I thought maybe 3 seconds. You almost did it, 3, maybe 4. It was impressive. You know what it was good. That's all I'm saying. It's not quantity, it's quality.
Exactly.
See?
Exactly.
It was good 2 seconds. I like that. So, what's up, folks? We're in Savannah, Georgia. What's up, Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah, right, exactly. And we're so excited that you guys are here. I know this is your first time to the Savannah area. And I hope that Savannah has come out and shown some love and made you really appreciate you guys being here. So.
There was some love last night. I can't remember where. I know we started at Lulu's. We had some sort of chocolate martini. Yeah, I had chocolate strawberry. I lost my man card there. Yeah, he did. But can I have the chocolate martini? He had a man card and gave it away. Yeah, so the waitress, she was like, there's no man cards there. And then she broke one. It said man card. She gave it to me. I was like, okay, and I put it, in the bra I wasn't wearing. And then the girl across from me was like, I'll have the bourbon and something. And I was like, here's a man card. I got there, saw it on the table, I was like, did you lose this? Where did we go after that? Somewhere out dancing. It's several places. Yeah, a couple places. I can't remember the name of it. What? Where? Yeah, that sounds familiar. Where we went, there was dancing, and then there was dancing. And lots of dancing.
So speaking of dancing, how did you guys like the dance environment here in Savannah? Was it to your liking? So I know we had a good time. We set it up. Good time.
Well, y'all know he can't dance. I just had to help him out. I was like, come on, man. Come on. I know you got rhythm in there somewhere. But, I'm patient. I'm a patient instructor. I just show him. Like, you can do it. It's all right. So I was told last night that Savannah water has a certain application. What? You know what I'm talking about? We're not in Mexico. We should be all right.
Yeah. So I will say the water you are drinking is not Savannah water. You guys have a purified. They have their bubblers around here that like purified.
It tastes like
you guys are being good ones. Not saying that Savannah water is not good. It's just last I heard, it's just it's like a fluoride. It's kind of like your teeth.
Somebody said that if you were having an occasion where maybe perhaps you had too much fun the night before, then it was a cure.
If it makes you feel better, sure. Our water has miraculous properties. So it's the haunting and the purity of the haunts that are here. The ghosts make the water great. So
there's a ghost here that haunts the water at 3 a.m. Is that what I heard?
Yes. At 3 a.m. you will see a lot of ghosts and ghouls walking around. Just kind of.
I knew you guys were crazy.
Well, you call it crazy. You call it just the pure.
I wanted, if I had remembered, I would have hit up all the haunted stuff last night. Yeah. And then I changed my flight. I'm going to another city for a film premiere. And as I'm changing my flight, I get off, and everybody's like, so you going to the haunted houses or the haunted tours? I was like, should have done that last night. How many of you guys like haunted stuff? All right. Now, how many of you will sit through a movie you know is going to say, yeah, look, you're like, no. That's after they were like, oh, it's a kid's show, you got to be PC. And then they brought in a dude with no skin. Right, dude. Yeah. I was like, is this the same kid's show we've been filming for like 40 episodes? Because he's creepy.
So go on with Power Rangers. Just a little snippet of what you guys did, years ago. That was this little small thing. How was Power Rangers? How was it? I know let's be honest, this is something I'm assuming you guys were like, hey, it sounds like a good idea. And then here it is 20 some odd, 30 years later, and it's like a international phenomenon. I mean, you can't go anywhere where people don't know about Power Rangers. I mean, how does that, I mean, come on. I mean, you guys are so down to earth. So it's not like you walk around with like, do you know who I am? I mean, you guys are so down to, how does that not affect being so, so recognized? I mean, that's, again, a franchise that is amazing.
We are very blessed. I think the thing about Power Rangers is it wasn't just a TV show. It was a show that you watched on TV that was exciting. That had, tune in tomorrow. And what do you call that? No. When they say tune in tomorrow, because like cliffhangers. We had cliffhangers.
Yes.
So
yes.
you didn't know, like for kids, that wasn't really happening. But with Power Rangers, it was like we were about to lose our Zords, and they're like, and let's get into the show.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, I gotta see it. I gotta see it tomorrow. What happened to Zords, right? So it had that, but not only that, it was the game you played with your friends.
Yes.
It was the game you played with your family. So after you watched the show, you did your homework, then you went outside with your friends, you're like, I'm Tommy, I'm Zach, I'm Jason, you're Jimmy, you're Kimberly, let's go, where's the place? Let's go. And you went out, you had fun, you had these adventures, you jumped off garages, you did all kinds of crazy stuff that you weren't supposed to do, but it was fun.
Hey! Is it me, or is he looking so much lighter? Yeah, we were told that you were recycling.
Wow. No.
You read that he doesn't recycle? Oh, it was a business call.
Yeah.
Okay.
The budget was too high.
All right.
I hate it when the budget's too high.
That's what Mexican does to you, man. You gotta pay the price.
Alright, well,
Would you like to hold the mic, Tony?
Okay. So, that's a little poor planning on my part. We have 2 mics, 2 guests. So, that's what you get. That's what you get. I'm sorry. And again, you're right. Exactly. I mean, that was something, I'll still remember the day my brother came in, and my older brother came in and said, dude, you gotta see what's on TV. And I remember walking in and just being in awe. And I'm sure like all of you were, you're just walking in like, what is this? We were used to Ninja Turtles, we had Batman, we had Star Wars, but we had never seen anything like what you guys
It was weird.
It was.
I mean, come on, think about it. It was very strange. The first 15 minutes is teenagers, and it's all good. We're in high school. They got weird characters. They got, Bulk and Skull. All of a sudden, they're like putting, these clay dudes like coming around. We fight them. We beat them up, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay. But then there's the monster, and the monster's strange. It's like, we got eye guys. He got multiple eyes. He's like, I'm a big monster with eyes. And you're like, that is so weird. It's very Japanese.
Very
right?
awesome.
And then all of a sudden, the monster gets big. We get into our Zords, which come out of nowhere. Where did these Zords live? Where did these
Exactly. They came up from the ground.
came from the ground, but there was no hole. There was no hole. Nobody ever knew it. Nobody ever saw it. Like nobody knew where the Zords came from. When they investigate, when they be like, there was a large robot in downtown. We don't know. We followed the trail back to the hole. Somebody was there, right? But they were here. And then it's like Japanese, and nobody's moved with words. It was weird. Yeah. It was strange, but it was cool.
It very much was. It very much was. Like you said, I mean, it was just one of those things that, again, we've never seen before. Dinosaurs were amazing as a child, and you guys, I've often wondered that, like, if they were to have come out with different Zords, would it have been a different experience? Because again, with children, dinosaurs, I love dinosaurs. Like, that was the coolest thing to me. Not only your suits, your powers, Zordon, the command center, all that. I mean, the Zords were just, that was like the holy grail of my childhood, trying to get a Zord. To get a Zord and a Morpher. And sadly to say, I was 24 before I finally had my very first Dino Zord. But it was awesome. I mean, it was definitely worth the wait. And it was just, you're right, completely different. So
I got a question.
Okay.
And this is a question Billy should have had.
Okay.
Because he was a smart guy. Like, here we are with dinosaurs, right? We're talking 62 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then Zach got a mastodon. It's not a dinosaur. It's like 25,000 years ago. Right. I'm like saber-toothed tiger 25,000 years ago. I was like, so we were all over the world. You know what? We had diverse robots.
You did.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I kind of feel like as we're talking, you guys are like just destroying the logic behind this show. Who looks for, come on. Nobody ever thought about looking for the dinosaurs. Now I'm like, why did they think about looking for the dinosaurs? Like, why did they look for the robot? This is ridiculous.
I mean, the tracks were led somewhere, right?
You would think.
You know, like, but look, it was fun.
It was.
It was fun.
And obviously, we all enjoyed it, and everybody around the world has.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, we got fans in 40 countries around the world. It's amazing that this show has been everywhere, and that so many people have enjoyed it, and for different reasons. Lots of people. I mean, when we were doing the show, I went to a boxing match, and I had ringside seats, which is kind of cool. I was like, I never had ringside seats. I walk up, there's a big boxer, big dude, black dude. He's like, hey man, you see a ticket? So I show him a ticket. He's like, oh, I know you, man. You Black Ranger. I was like, oh, you got kids? He's like, no, man, I watched the show. I was like, how are you? You know, but it's crazy. We had just such a diverse variety of fans from everywhere, 40 countries. It's crazy.
So, going off of that, has there ever been a point in your career or since the show where you're just like, oh, God, here we go. Yeah, I was that guy. Yeah. I mean, has there ever been, I'm sure there has been. No, never.
Never me. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Look,
I was working at Taco Bell and then Subway and then
Really?
It's like this for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, I had a great time. For me, it was awesome. I mean, the only thing maybe would be like, because we lived, well, at least I did. You guys were in Glendale or something. So I lived where the work was. I was in Santa Clarita.
Okay.
That's where we shot. And so if I would go somewhere, then people would see me. If I would go to a restaurant, then it would get interrupted.
Yeah.
That was the only time, but I was happy though, because I was like, this is crazy. This is, you know, it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't that bad for me, but it was cool. Oh, that's super unprofessional.
I set my timer to make sure we don't run out of time, and that goes off. I do want you to know I didn't have it as a communicator for the longest time, but after a while, that
See, now we would have let it slide if it was.
See?
party foul.
Because then it would have been like, oh, he planned that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now, come in.
I have a question. Well, why didn't they just like in the very beginning, like it's like who was the one that was like, we'll make the monster grow at the end? Like who was the guy in Japan was like, hey, make it grow. Right. Well, actually, it does make sense because when you come down all the Zords, that thing's gonna be huge, and the dude would be like, you just get stepped on or something. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
So,
What was the headache then? Where did that come from? We don't always have a headache.
She was in a trash can, bro. Come on, that's very hard. That's very true. That's
that's here's the trash can.
She probably has some neck problems.
Okay. So we actually did a trivia night a couple weeks ago as a promotion for the show, and there, some people learned some things. Do you guys actually know, besides the Super Sentai, do you actually know where Power Rangers started from? Like where the Zords came from? The very first Zord ever.
Zimbabwe.
It was Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, my friend. Yes.
I could be wrong.
That was good. I don't know what
That's where they were built.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's where they were manufactured.
Some parts were made in China, but
No, but actually researching for the trivia, that was one of the questions, like what inspired Power Rangers or Super Sentai? We actually found out it was Spider-Man. 1960s Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, and they actually did. I think they did a Japanese version of Spider-Man.
Yes, that's
And he's
what
like on a motorcycle and all that.
And he would go up in the air and come in with like a spaceship and it would become a Zord. So in Japan, Spider-Man had his own Megazord, and that's where it all started. Yes. So I think that was in the 60s, and then in 75 is when Super Sentai started.
And you guys are all not knowing you knew this.
No, we're all no, we'll see. The Zordon was murdered.
You know, it's funny because after we left the show, after I stopped doing Mighty Morphin, I moved on. I continued as an actor and did many other things, and I didn't follow the rest of the seasons.
Yeah.
And then one day we were at a Comic-Con, and we were at a panel, and the actor that did that, he was sitting, he's like, well, I killed Zordon. And I was like,
I had the same reaction. I thought it was a joke. That was Christopher King.
yeah, it's just, and I was like, and he was bragging. I wanted to go hit him, and I was like, you did what to my father?
Yeah. He said that, I was like, you're crazy. And then he said it again, I was like, oh, he's joking. And then he said it again, I was like, I'm gonna kill you really slow. Like, I couldn't wrap my mind around, they killed Zordon.
Yeah.
I was like, who's in charge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a con and somebody had mentioned it, came to the table and said, oh, that's the guy that killed Zorn. I was like, wait, he's a ranger?
Yes.
I was like, do we like him? Yeah.
So yeah.
How do we feel about that exactly?
So the story behind it was, from what I understand from research, is that they were actually ending the series, planning on ending the series at that point. It was Power Rangers in Space. It was a pretty dark series. It was a really good series. And they had to kill Zordon to defeat all the evil. So they destroyed Zordon. Rita became normal. She wasn't a witch anymore. Lord Zed was a human, no skin or with skin. The Machine Empire was destroyed. I mean, everything was crazy. So I mean, it was really hard.
So is Scorpina, is she available?
You know, Scorpina turns. Hey,
Okay, I'm just saying.
Scorpina was
If
great.
she's single and not evil, Scorpina was great.
That's right. You guys like were going to prom.
I hate you.
Going
I hate
to prom
you.
and stuff like that? Yeah.
He was trying to get a date for the dance. He was trying to get a date for the dance in Scorpio.
Yeah, I needed a date for the dance. I don't remember.
I believe so. And he was like,
There was
Did she ask you or did you ask her?
my character was very shy.
You were
So
very shy.
she went after me.
Ah.
Okay, so I looked up that Spider-Man thing because I remember the trivia thing, or it being different. Because I remember there is a show that was a Chinese show that had like a character. It was very Power Rangers-ish, and that was in the 60s, and he was in red. But then in like 78 is when they did the Japanese Spider-Man.
Okay, so
Can't
maybe
show
I'll
that
walk
a little bit. I want to see if I can play this.
Research that all of us want to do right now.
And right now we're looking at somebody doing things in the moonlight. Now there's a spider suit. There's a guy flashing around in a spider suit. Now we're looking at a city. Big city. Tall buildings. Traffic is moving through. Another tall building with Katakana written across the screen. Still looking at tall building. Oh, here's a spider guy in a suit. He's standing around. Now he's squatting. Now he's posing. Power pose. Spidey pose. Another pose. Lots of Katakana.
All right, so yeah, it's a.
I didn't want you to feel like
I've
that.
watched it actually before. It's kind of entertaining. See, it's like it is. It's like Power Rangers, Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man, but very Power Rangers.
very so. Very
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube actually.
Exactly. So, Zach, I have a very specific question for you, or excuse me, Walter. I've been trying not to call you Zach or Jason or Adam.
Strike two, man.
Strike two. I got the character right. Come on.
You know what's crazy is the show's been around so long that I've had fans come up and go, excuse me, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, oh yeah, I get
I'm like,
that.
oh man, you can't make Zach Cole. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm like, I can be Mr. Jones, but not Mr. Taylor. Come on, man. Zachary Taylor is like Mr. No.
I mean, yeah. So over the years, I think one of the biggest things we've all loved, I speak for myself and I could be speaking for others, is seeing you guys come back on the show. Seeing you come back as the Gold Ranger was just phenomenal. Forever Red was great. Seeing you come back, helping in space with your busted morpher, which is a huge thing, and then later on.
With your busted morpher.
What are there any plans potentially for you to come back later in the series?
You know, I would like to come back. I would love to have my character come back and finalize my journey to the where do we go?
Peace treaty.
Peace treaty, yeah. But the problem is right after I left the show, I joined the union. And so I was like, okay, we're not, we left the show because it was non-union. They gave us a contract for 3 films and 40 more episodes, all non-union. It was like not fair. We stood up for what we believed in and we walked away. But I joined the union afterwards, and I've been in the union ever since. So it's difficult to go back if they invite me, and because I can't do it. I'm in the union, so I can't do it. I would have to go back to core, which would be a process.
Yeah.
And I would want to get back in the union, but they wouldn't pay for that. It's hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would love to go. If they made it worth my while, I would go.
Yeah, definitely.
But they have no interest in it.
Well, and I think that's one of the things, one of my biggest gripes with the whole ownership of the Rangers, and I would, again, think I would agree, is the fact that they did you wrong. And they have been doing everybody wrong from the get-go. It's hard to be a fan knowing how they treated you all, truly. With the Legacy War that came up a couple years ago, I mean, the Japanese version was amazing. And I think everybody here was hoping to get something as amazing as they got, and we got ripped off. To have a Legacy War and not have the original Rangers was a joke. And I think everybody would agree with that. It was a complete joke. Don't get me wrong. We've all followed up to a certain point, and we all have our favorite seasons, but to not have the original Rangers, I mean, really?
Preach!
Y'all should have been the first ones in the budget. You know what I mean? And I include you in that. I mean, I have you guys, it was a joke. Complete joke. So, and I hate the fact that they won't do it right, because it's not I feel, again, and you might agree, it's not a fan-oriented show, it's definitely a money-making show, and I get it. But unfortunately for us, we're getting the shaft. So there's that. I'm off my soapbox. I would love to see you come back. I know I've seen previews for you to come back. I'm excited for that episode if it hasn't aired yet. I hadn't followed the last few seasons. It's been kind of hard because it's gotten pretty. Yeah, we're just gonna say that. Definitely enjoyed your episode in Operation Overdrive. Was by far my favorite, and that is my least favorite scene. The only reason I watched that episode was because I heard you were in it. So there's that. And I can't even, I'm not even gonna tell you how much I fangirl to see that you were coming back for Forever Red, because nobody ever knew that was happening until the day it happened. So that was awesome. But moving forward, what are your guys' hopes? I mean, are there any hopes that maybe, you said that we'd love to come back. What about you guys? I mean, is there a form of your character you would love to come back? Because I know you came back both times came back as the Black Ranger. Would you love to come back as the Green Ranger, or?
I'd love to come back as Walter, actually. If I can go back. It's probably, it's the same, I imagine, for these guys. I don't really want to speak for them, but it's, they've reached out to me a couple times, and I've said I'm interested, but we have, our characters have a legacy, and so there's kind of the fear of like, actually with Overdrive, I asked for the script, they wouldn't give me a script until I showed up, so I had to agree to it and then go there and hope that it was going to be great. But then, and it was okay. I changed all my dialogue when I was there, and I was like, all right, it's fine, things will work out. Yeah. But it could have been me just laying in a bed the whole time, and then, hey guys, and it had one line, and it does nothing for the legacy of my character, you know? So I would want, I want to be able to build on that legacy of the character. And I feel like with the comics, they're doing that. With Omega, it's like they're building on their legacy, and it's like, that's really cool. That's a cool twist, So I'd be interested in coming back as long as there's something that is being added to the legacy of the character, rather than something that's going to be like,
just a little blip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. So one of my last questions before we get to the audience, you signed some stuff for me earlier, stuff that's like my holy grail toy collection. Is there anything over the years that has been made that you found out, well, they're making that, I gotta have one? that has to do with maybe your character or just, Power Rangers in general?
It's unfortunate, but we were never offered toys. We were never like when
They never said here.
The toys came out. I didn't get a Megazord until maybe 4 years ago.
Really?
A fan gave it to me.
Wow.
Because I refused to go buy it. I was like, I can't believe. So I didn't get the Titanus. I didn't get those other. The toys were amazing. The toys were awesome, and we didn't get them. So I think I would love to get those toys. I should get them at some point. But the Megazord I got, and I have 2 kids, so I sit down and I play with the Megazord and show them how to put it together and everything. And I sat down and watched them play with it. I think that's cool. My kids are playing with our toys, But yeah, I think I would get all the rest of the toys that that came out because of us.
I finally decided, screw this. So I got my resale license and I opened an online store.
Yeah.
So now I've got wall-to-wall collections in my office. But they never gave it to us. I still had to pay some fine. He's laughing all the way to the bank.
And the lines were long, so it's like, it was in the news, it was newsworthy how hard it was to get the toys. So it was like, people are standing in line and get the Power Ranger toys. It was on the news, right? People are spending the night in front of Toys R Us to get the toys. So they were hard to come by. And what we should have done is we should have went and stood in line and spent the night to get our own toys. But that would have been all over the news, and then they would have been felt like butt eggs. They were like, okay, you can have all the toys. That's bad for us. But that's what we should have done.
And then we should have left that line and gone to like the food kitchens or handouts. Been like, let's sit here to eat. Is there a line for medical care somewhere? We should have been in all those lines. That might have worked.
Johnny, what about you?
Toy-wise?
Just anything really. Because they have the Legacy line out now, so I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Every time I saw something, I'm like, oh, cool, they got the little helmet, and I was like, I'll take it. And I bought it. I usually buy a couple of them or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I do have, my studio's got all sorts of stuff now. But, yeah. I would like to see more Zeo.
Yeah, definitely.
They're like, I know that they're really pushing the Mighty Morphin stuff or whatnot, but I'd love to see some Zeo stuff.
Well, the crazy thing is the Mighty Morphin is they made so much of it, and it's a little easier to find. Zeo, and I speak from someone who's been trying to buy the stuff. The Zeo stuff is hard to find. The Morphin you signed for me has taken me 3 years to find in that good a condition, because they just don't. They're all open, or they're just ridiculously priced on eBay. So yeah, like the Legacy Morph, the Zeo Morph that come out, that was great. The Gold Ranger staff is awesome. But yeah, Zeo, Turbo, some of that stuff would be great.
They don't have the Power Racks.
Yes. Now,
Legacy Power Racks.
did you catch the Man at Arms episode where they actually built your axe? That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they offered it to me, and they said they were going to give it to me. But the head of that thing is 70 pounds, and so that's a whole lot of axe.
That's nothing for the Black Rangers of it.
Not for you're right. However, can you imagine? Really, if the head of the axe is like 70 pounds, and you swing with it. And you miss. I was like, oh my God, that's not gonna be a good thing. That leg is gone. That's like, once that's going down, you're not stopping it. It's very, pretty awesome. I met the guys, and I was like, oh, and you have the gun partners like, no, we just put what is this?
The Roman candles?
The Roman candle. They put a Roman candle.
Okay.
They put a Roman candle in to make that shut out. So I was like, that's the way they made it work.
Yeah, it looked pretty.
It's still pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So like, we got a sword, which is amazing. But yeah, like a lot of people would like to see the rest of the weapons, so you can actually have the power blaster.
I have a guy who I just had do a hunting blade for me. Guns, knives, hunting, that's my thing. One of the things, many things. Anyway, and this guy, he did a custom blade that was made out of Damascus steel, which, for those of you who don't know, you know, really, really awesome steel. Gonna last your lifetime, and your grandchildren's lifetimes. So I told him, I said, hey man, what would you charge me to do the original Power Sword in full Damascus steel with a live edge? And he was like, I don't know, I have to look at, send me dimensions. So I sent him dimensions. I'm not gonna tell you what he's charging me, but I gotta get it done. That's gonna be my piece in my room. And he gets all the steel in from Pakistan. So he gets it at an amazing cost. It's still expensive, as you know what, because just the ability to work the steel and make it amazing. So when that thing arrives, I'll put it up online. You guys will see it. I told him, I said, what was that movie, Bodyguard? Where he takes the sash with Whitney Houston and just drops it across the blade and it splits. I said, that's the kind of edge I want. So I'm never going to use it. I'm not out to kill people. It's not the samurai era, but that would be cool.
Okay, yeah. All right, so let's open it up to the audience. We'll start on the first row real quick. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Who's got a question on the first row? Anybody? Yeah.
Hey guys, this is just me being a little bit of a fan, wondering if y'all probably would have done it, but when the Dragonzord was introduced, did any of y'all think, like, why did nobody go, like, make a Godzilla or something like that whenever it was brought out?
Ooh, Godzilla!
Yeah.
You know what? I thought when the Dragonzord came out, I was like, oh man, that's cool. The Megazord's got like a homie. He got a friend. That's cool. Like, cause he ain't by himself no more. I was like, yeah, he got to hang out, yo, dog. I thought it was cool.
So one was west side and one was east side?
Yeah, east side. Right? It was like from the green sun.
Tokyo player.
Nah, I don't. Godzilla would have been different, but yeah, I mean, we had to go by the Dragonzord.
I have something coming on my website for the holidays that's going to answer that question. You're going to love it. Never been done original pieces that I'll be putting up for sale soon. You're going to love it.
We have another question on the first row?
Hey guys, so what kind of martial arts training did you guys have coming into the season, or the very first season, or your first season, and then after the show ended, did you guys continue the interest in martial arts?
I studied Ishiru when I was a kid in Michigan. I was a Pee Wee Michigan State champion. And so I studied that. When I got on the show, I worked with all the Sun guys, and I was learning, picking up bits and pieces from everybody. And so I've got a lot of training that's not belted, but I'm a brown belt in Ishiru. I'm a black belt in Hapkido, which I got after I left the show.
All right, we'll take one more question on the first row.
Wait, they didn't answer.
Hey guys. Good. Well, I've worked with all of you on several occasions at different Comic-Cons. It's really cool to be sitting here in front of all of you. And I guess they were kind of talking about this question earlier. Always I'm asking you about your different things that are not related to Power Rangers. I'm asking about your side projects, but I wanted to ask about your experience, Johnny first, your experience coming back on the space episode where you're mentoring Carlos, and I guess maybe Austin, one of your favorite experiences coming back. Which one did you like the most when you came back? And I guess you can answer what you would like to do because you haven't come back. I'm sorry.
Do you mean like specifically space? What was?
Yeah, the specific experience on when you're coaching Carlos and coming back and have to use the broken mark more.
Well, it was cool. I had a good time there. I had kind of a good and bad time, but like my ex was on the show, so that wasn't a good part. But it was fun to come back and to do it, and then kind of have like a broken morpher. I thought that was kind of a cool like taking the character in a certain direction. He's carrying around a broken morpher in his backpack.
So he's like, it's like they, without even really saying anything, there's like, Adam's hanging on to that bit. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, you know? So how long has he had that, and what has he been doing with it, and what has he done afterwards, you know, with that, you know? And so I had actually, when I was being brought back or whatever, I had asked if they could kill Adam, if Adam could die. I wanted him to die in that episode, because I thought it'd be kind of cool, like, let's end it. And so, but they, you know, Koichi, who kind of brought me back, was like, no, we're not killing Adam. He's like, are you crazy? No. I also asked if they'd kill me off in Overdrive, and again, he was like, no, Johnny, we're not killing him. But I had a good time. It was fun. And working with, the character Carlos, right? There's sequences that we shot where, I don't know, it's kind of funny, but it's like he's running up the stairs, right? And training him, and like holding the bag for him. But I remember this one specific moment where he's running up the stairs, and he doesn't realize it, but his shorts are falling down, and he's just running up the stairs, and his shorts are falling down. He gets up the top, and then I'm like looking around, like, you can't use that, right? It's like his pants fell down. And he didn't notice, and he was like trying to keep acting. I'm like, no, we can't. No, you gotta tie your thing, man. You gotta do that again. And another moment, I'm like holding pads for him or something, and he's like going at it, trying to kick a punch or whatever, and he's just drooling all over. I'm like, what is going on here? And for me, it was funny because I was like, all right, but I'm thinking like, maybe he's not a martial artist. Maybe this is a little harder for him to, you know, get out and do the action stuff. But I don't think it was a martial artist, right? So doing like, I don't know, action was a little more complicated, or a little outside of his, you know, wheelhouse. But it was. That stuff was funny for me because I was like, oh, what's happening here? And I'm looking at Koichi like, hey, you seeing that? But good time, yeah. Quickly to answer your question, I started shelling Kung Fu before I got on the Power Rangers. Afterwards, I got involved in lots of different martial arts. JKD, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's my stick because I study Eskrima and Balintawak, and I bring that with me. Not to beat people up, but to just keep going, knife training. Hapkido I study as well, and just various different things here and there.
What was the question?
Oh, coming back. I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. So Forever Red was, I was in the fire department on the East Coast, and I don't remember if they called me or sent me an email, but long story short, they got me out there. But before I got on the plane, I remember they were talking about, we'll come out, it'll just be a couple days. I was like, well, I'm in college, I'm in the fire department, I've got responsibilities. They're like, we'll only need you for 2-3 days. I was like, okay, all right, I can get that time off, not a problem. And I was like, so what are we doing? What's the episode? They're like, well, we're gonna bring you back with all the other Red Rangers. And like Walter, I hadn't followed the series, so I had no idea. And I knew about myself, I knew about Steve Cardenas, and I knew Jason Brandt. Like, that was the end of my knowledge of Red Rangers. And so they're like, with all the Red Rangers. Like, okay, Steve and Jason. They're like, no, all the Red Rangers. I was like, well, how many are there? They're like, well, there's been 11, but there's only going to be 10 in this episode. What have you been doing to the Red Rangers? When did you start killing them all off? I was like, man, the show just went downhill. And so they told me all about it, and I was like, okay. And that's when I learned they were changing casts. Like, people change their underwear. And so I came out, and I was on set, and we were shooting in Cali, and I got to meet these 10 other guys. And it was pretty, a few of them were like, it's funny. A few of them come walking up to me, they're like, dude, I grew up watching you. I was like, I hate you. just so we're clear on that, I hate you. It's nothing personal, but it really is. And so, we shook hands and met and talked, but it was pretty awesome for me seeing what these 10 other guys brought to their own vision of the Red Ranger. And I thought that was, it was eye-opening for me. I thought, I know what I did, but look at what these guys have done. And I really, really enjoyed that. That was really cool to see what everybody had done. Koichi was still there, the stunt team, Alpha Stunts was still there. And, so that much hadn't changed, except that they'd all just gotten even better. And that was a pretty neat experience to come back and be a part of. And then this last time I came back in New Zealand, all I could tell you is I met the new cast, and they're a great group of guys. It reminded me of us, like when we all got started and we were babies. I was like, was I ever that young? Oh my gosh, I got shoes older than you. What are you doing? But great cast. I had a ton of fun. I got to see some cool places in New Zealand, which was pretty neat. I think it's the only black sand beach in New Zealand. It's called Puha Beach. And so that was amazing. We got to hike up in this mountain area, and there's waterfalls. I have a bunch of photos that I can't post yet, but they're coming. And so I got to see the new, you remember Sean, second unit, DP? He was still there. Not Koichi, I can't remember. Yuji was still there from stunts. So there were still a few people there, and executive producer. Chip was still there. He started as a PA. So that was pretty cool. It was just good to come back and see something that was familiar, but to watch how it's grown over so much time. So that was pretty awesome. Martial arts. So I started in judo. Judo was my first martial art when I was 5. I started training with my dad when I was 5, but my first dojo training was when he deployed to El Salvador. My mom put me in a judo dojo. And I was 5 years old. I was the youngest guy there. Everybody else was like 11, 12. So I learned really quickly about balance and center of gravity. And from there, my dad was a Marine. He'd come back, we would move. And I would pick up whatever was available everywhere we went. That was my option. I could pick up what was there, or I could just quit. And that wasn't my style. So Taekwondo, Shinkido, Palbando, and Judo were probably my earliest origins. I had Kempo from my father. And it was funny because later we came back through and I trained, so Parker style, Parker system, split. Dave German, who did the Panther videos, trained Ray Schneider. Ray Schneider trained my father and I. And Ray Schneider took Kenpo, Newaza, Chinese kickboxing, and what was the fourth? Taido, the art of Taido, which is the art of strangulation. And he combined those into his system. So we still had a lot of the two-man forms, twin talon, twin dragon, twin eagle, two-man fighting forms, and katas and stuff like that. But we got to add, he definitely bastardized the Parker style Kenpo, which I was happy with. And from there, like Johnny, if you're in and around, you just get exposed to all kinds of stuff. And I've never taken formally jiu-jitsu, but I've rolled a bunch. In fact, in New Zealand, we rolled with some guys out of a dojo down there. I got pictures, I can't remember their names, but they're the best in New Zealand. And they let us come in. I was there with some of the other rangers, and we all went in and just trained. So I'll go anywhere. I train with everybody. Right now, I'm working in Krav Maga, and then out of Ohio, I work with Sifu Lear, and we do Genuine Kempo Kwan Fa style. So there you go.
We have time for one more question.
So make it a good one. I need a hand. Let me see a hand. Who's got a good question? All right, there you go.
Hey guys, how you doing? With all the things going on as far as, I'm glad you actually mentioned it, with the comics and everything, that they're actually advancing some of the characters, like when y'all got sent off or whatever, and with the whole reboot coming on with the movies, was there anything that y'all was hoping to see in the future as far as you know what's going on now, and anything that you know about that might be popping off with it, like anything that you'd be looking forward to seeing with that?
Is it, in general?
Yeah, just in general.
I would love to come back in whatever films Hasbro's planning out. And not for 3 seconds at the end of the film holding the camera, I mean, nobody wants to come back for 3 seconds in a film holding the camera.
You want to build on your legacy. You don't
Yeah, well,
want to
that's it. I want to come back and add to, because Jason, Adam, and Zach, they're legendary characters for a reason. And to come back and do something like what I just said is, wow. I want to come back and, whether it's a mentor or a fighter or, the last minute dude that walks in the background, however it works. I don't care if it's the janitor who's got like that subtle mentor role that nobody knows. Maybe he's teaching the kids and they don't even know who he is. but he knows. You know, so however it works, I would love to see something that held true to the origins of MMPR, and but just magnified it in an even greater way for the team.
I feel similar to that. I think they missed the mark on the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep trying to reboot it. They're trying to reach the audience, you guys, the ones that grew up watching the show, but they're giving you an all new story, characters, they're all new actors, and you know, it's like, why don't you just add to it?
Yeah.
Just bring the original cast in and add to their story. Maybe it's their kids, or maybe you know they're there. It's Jason. He's you know the original, but add to it, because then you guys are gonna be like, that's the character I grew up watching. You know, instead of like, well, okay, it's a different actor playing the character. Well, let's see what they do. And so that it's hard to. I think they're missing the mark.
You know what else would be cool is if in these new films, like I would love to see an Adam or Zach or Jason, and I speak for you. Well, you already kind of mentioned it. I would love to see, you know, this epic battle or some, you know how Iron Man went out in Marvel? I'd like to see something like that for Jason. You know, that would be an epic finish. You know, something memorable and powerful and visceral for all y'all who were there in the beginning. You know what I mean? At least I hope so. You know?
Well, I mean, you know, I think it would be a good idea for Hasbro to take Mighty Morphin and have it break off into the part where we become the Mega Rangers.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be awesome. And then that way we all be all inclusive of all Mighty Morphin, and that would build on the series. That would like take it to a different place, and so you have now two teams working to become, you know, whatever. You know, I think that would be smart.
If they could take the whole premise that Boom is gone, I love how Boom brought in like the morphing grid, where you have parallel universes. That would be, you could do so much with that in movies.
Oh yeah.
How much fun could you have writing that one out?
Exactly.
That would be amazing.
We did a voiceover. We did a reading of some of the comic books in San Diego. Was it San Diego or Rangerstown? Morphicon. A couple of years ago, and it was really cool because we had a number of different Rangers and some of the voices of the villains, and we're all doing a live reading on stage, of Battle for the Grid or whatever, and it was cool because we're in different dimensions. So sometimes, like my character, I played a young Zach, and also played an older Zach in a different dimension, and I had a whole scene with myself. So it was cool. It was like two different characters though, so it was awesome. That would be awesome.
So many places they could take it, and I would love to see him expand. And I like where he's at too. You know, whether it's Jason's dad. Everybody thought I was Jason's dad in the movie anyway. I was like, I'm not 6'6", 300 pounds. I mean, I know all white dudes with a beard who look the same. But I was like, that's.
I think you're right. I mean, just to add on before we finish, I think maybe you got an honorable death in the series.
I don't want to die.
You don't necessarily need to kill us all.
That's right. Iron Man had a very good. I mean,
They're like, yeah, we would die. Nothing to die. I'm staying.
He would attend the funeral. You drop by and be like, peace out.
I'll be like to the shot guns. I'll be here. I'm hanging out.
I think the characters have potential to kind of like, for Jason, he could have been maybe being a martial art, running a martial arts school. I even thought Alan's character could do that one day, something where they taught people and then somehow Power Rangers tied into it with the skills they had. That would be a great way to
I think
set things.
that's where they should go, because then you get to see your characters. Where are they now?
Yeah.